Like many other kids throughout the world, when I was younger, I wanted to be cool. To me, that cool came in the form of skateboarding. Looking at different pro skaters and what they could do with their feet on the board inspired me to start skating myself. Now I've been skating for a couple years on and off, and I can confidently say I'm not good. The best trick that I can land in the most sketchy way possible would have to be like a 360 pop shove it, and when I say sketchy I mean like no other person will consider even a landing, and I think that's what drew me into skateboarding games. I remember coming over to my friend's house just to play Skate 3, and I remember how much fun it was purely for the fact that none of the limiters that I had when skating in real life were in those games. There was no fear holding me back from doing tricks over a set of stairs, and there was definitely no me holding myself back from doing the tricks that in my eyes were impossible. It was pure freedom. Well, not full freedom, but as much freedom as the game could provide. For years I've been waiting for a new skate game from EA. I was shocked at how long it took them to realize that the skate games were successful, and now with a new skate game being on the horizon, a lot of people felt a sense of relief, knowing that they will no longer have to play these early access wannabe skate games with no real direction, mediocre graphics, and questionable board physics. Well, I mean, there is the Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 remaster that recently got released, but personally speaking, I didn't grow up playing those games, so when I played the remaster, I felt frustrated that it was nothing like the skate games. It felt too arcadey, where some of the early access games tried too hard to be realistic, and it just didn't fill that hole that the skate games left in me. Now, I have no clue where in the development process the new skate game is, but I just wanted to make a video talking about some things I'd like to see in the game. Number one, starting with the obvious, I want to see a lot of tricks. Now, I'm not sure how many more tricks they can incorporate into the controls on one joystick, but I want them to push it to the limits. I want to see just how much the gaming industry has improved since 2010 when Skate 3 got released. Number 2, I want progression. I remember one of my favorite things in Skate 3 was the progression, having to do missions just to get the wheels that you want on your skateboard or the right shoes on your character. I wasn't doing all those missions just to fill playtime, I was doing them because I had a goal I wanted to reach, and I think that's the biggest thing that the early access games fully missed on. Don't get me wrong, Skater XL and Session are not terrible skating games, but they aren't quite what I was hoping they were going to be when first hearing the announcement for them. Number 3, I want a diverse open world. I remember how much fun it was finding spots in Skate 3 that wouldn't normally catch the eye of the player. It wasn't anything grand. Sometimes all it had to be is a bench. I could have hours of mindless fun pretending I'm a real pro skateboarder doing all sorts of grinds on just a normal bench. Though, I don't want just benches to skate on. I love the idea Skate 3 had with the map being split into multiple sections, one being downtown, another being industrial, and the third being college campus, but I feel it would have been a lot better if all of those were incorporated into one big town. Not only that, I would also like to see more areas where you can, for example, go skate inside a mall, or maybe an aquarium, or maybe even somebody's mansion. Number 4, lots of customization. Now, when I say this, I say it with a heavy heart, because my biggest fear would be that EA will give this new skate game a whole bunch of microtransactions that will ultimately ruin the progression I was talking about. But nonetheless, I want lots of customization. From clothing on the character to stickers on the board, I want it all. The more, the better. Number 5, and probably my final request, would be that they make multiplayer fun. Now, it was already pretty good in Skate 3, but I feel it could make it fun without all the minigames, though I'm not arguing against the minigames. I'm just saying, make open world multiplayer where you and your friends could just mess around with the world, giving the game just a little more childlike creativity. Now, all in all, I'm confident that there's almost no way EA will fuck this up. I mean, I'm like 70% sure, which is good enough for me. I'm a gambling man, those odds seem good, sort of. Either way, I guess we'll just have to see once they show us a glimpse of the game. As always, this has been BB. You guys have a good morning, good afternoon, and good night.